For the next couple of weeks, you are going to be creating an I Have a Dream Google slide presentation. I have put a category right here at the top of your classwork so that you can always easily access this document because you're going to be working with the same document for the next 2 weeks. Okay? So it says here due March 5th. Okay, that's like 2.5 weeks from now. So I'm going to open this up and show you what we're doing. So what you're going to do is you are going to be taking on the role of a civil rights activist who is going to teach people about the civil rights movement and this I Have a Dream speech. You've already done part of the work because you've already looked at the speech, summarized it, and looked at the literary devices, but there's more. So we see here that we are going to be doing a raft. So here's your role. Your role is you're a civil rights activist. You are a person who is working to promote civil rights and fairness for everybody in the United States. Your audience is people who have not read the I Have a Dream speech and might be familiar with it but don't understand its meaning. The format is a Google Slides presentation. So you're going to make a presentation that you would show. And if we were actually in class, I would make you give up and get up out of your seat and give a presentation. But we're not in school, so you'll just have to make the slides. And your task is to educate your community about Dr. King's famous I Have a Dream speech. When you refer to him, please make sure you refer to him as King, not Martin. With famous people and artists and literature people, we always refer to people by their last name when we are not directly familiar with them, if we don't know them personally. So your assignment is going to be done in small increments, but it's going to include the key main ideas from the speech, some important quotations from the speech. You're going to analyze those literary devices we looked for. You're going to have some discussion questions that you create. You're going to do a little bit of research on Black activism today. You're going to include images, videos, and other visuals that would help improve people's understanding of the topic. And it's going to have an MLA Works cited page. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, don't worry, there will be a whole lesson on how to make an MLA Works cited. So when you look at day 1, that's today. This is the work you're going to do today. So every day on Google Classroom and on the Matrix, I am going to post due day 1 slides 1 and 2, or 5 and 6, actually, I think it is. And then you only do the slides for that day. Okay, so it breaks it down nice for you. Now, if you're one of those people who works ahead, I'm not going to argue with you, but if you're just working ahead because you want to get it done and give yourself like a free week and a half, I don't advise that because that means you're probably going to rush through and do a kind of crappy job. So please don't move ahead unless you're absolutely positive that you are on the ball and know exactly what needs to be done. Okay? So when we look at today's assignment, it says day 1, do this work today. Identify the main ideas of the I Have a Dream speech. What does King want us to think, learn, or do specifically? Make a list of 2 to 3 things here and support your responses with the text. So you were supposed to read the whole speech, and there were 6 sections, and you were supposed to break it down and put it, summarize each section. So each section should have a main idea. In the first section, we talked about how the main idea was that although Blacks, African Americans, were freed 100 years before Martin Luther King gave this speech, he argued that they still were not free because they still suffered from racism and discrimination and poverty and all kinds of things that the average white person did not have to deal with. Okay? So the main idea there was we're supposed to be free 100 years ago, but here we are 100 years later and we're still not free. And then I would go over here to evidence from the text and I would copy and paste actual evidence from the text, or I would paraphrase things that he specifically said in that speech that support that main idea. Okay, so this is day 1, the first slide. Then you're going to do one more slide for day 1. What are the most important quotations in the speech and why? Quote them here with line numbers and discuss why you chose them. So again, you're going to go back into your I Have a Dream speech, okay? You are going to go through there and decide 3 quotations 3 things he specifically says that you think are more important than anything else in that speech. And you're going to paste them here. And then over here, you're going to write why you chose that quote, why you think that is one of the most important quotes in the speech. Okay? So that is all you are going to do to start. Eventually, this is all going to become one big assignment. But as you can see, when I scroll here, there's a lot to do, and I only want you to do this part today. So what happens then, at the end when you have a whole project that you've created? You're going to upload it here to this same assignment, okay? So all of your notes are going to be right here on this slide presentation that I'm going to keep at the top of the classwork page. And at the end, on March 5th, when everybody's finished, you are going to upload it to this exact same assignment. So all of your notes and your project will all be located on the same spot, okay? So, I'm wondering, let me think here if there's anything else I want to tell you today. But I don't think rubric, okay? This is a 50-point project. I encourage you to please make sure you look at the rubric. Expectations, did you do everything I asked you to do? Did you fulfill all the requirements, or did you leave stuff out? Content and development, did you say things that were accurate? Did you use quotations and cite things, specifically and accurately? Did you interpret things appropriately? Did you present the information in a way that was clear to the audience? Did you really, really show that you personally thought about this and put some effort into analyzing what was going on, okay? Visuals. I will show you, I will have a tutorial about how to create a Google Slides project if you don't know how, so don't worry. But you're going to have to make sure that you're using all the tools that you can, okay? Sorry, my dog was demanding food, so I had to pause for a minute there. So back to visuals. It says presentation reflects extensive use of the tools in a creative way. Images, graphs, videos, etc. are used to enhance meaning. So I am going to be looking at, any images or graphs or charts or videos or podcasts or music, anything that you used. Did you use it effectively? Okay. Did you make sure that it was something that actually enhanced our understanding, or was it just thrown in there to throw it in there? And, also we'll talk about paying attention to fonts that you use and colors that you use to make sure that you can really see things clearly, okay? And then language usage. Did you follow the rules of standard American English, or your spelling, your grammar, your punctuation? Are all of those things appropriate and clear? And then citations. Your works cited page, which again we'll talk about down the road how to do that, but does it follow all the rules of MLA format? Okay, so make sure that you are also taking a look at the rubric every so once in a while to make sure you're doing all the things. Okay, so that's it for today. Slides, the slides that pertain to day 1 are all that you have to do, and have a great day.